Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this box. I made it using the gift box punch board. Last Sunday I posted a video showing how I make I used the gift bag punch board and I showed you how I used it. It showed you 2 or 3 different ways of doing the bags. Brilliant product, absolutely brilliant. But I did say that I struggled with the gift box punch board, this one. And as soon as I said on the video that I'd given up with it, I thought, come on JanB, that's not you. So after I'd finished the video, I thought I'm going to play with this and find out what I can do with it. And this is what I've come up with. So I'd like to show you how I make these. So to start off with, as the other punch boards, all the instructions are here and it really is easy. The only thing that defeated me on these boxes was on the corners. If I show you, this is the instruction leaflet you get with it. When you've finished doing all your punching and scoring, you put your cardstock in there, press, and it punches these little things here. And you have one of those on each 4 of the 4 corners, and 2 opposite corners have to slot into each other, and then the opposite 2 corners slot into each other, and that's the closure. The first 2 I could get to close no problems, but then the next 2 I struggled so much with it that I finished up bending and puckering all of that up, and it just spoilt the look of it for me. And once I posted the video last week, one lady suggested that I could use a belly band, which I thought that was a great idea. And I started looking at it and I thought, well, why not use this beautiful new ribbon that we have now? So much easier, and it is just so pretty. I absolutely love, love, love this ribbon. So that's what I'm going to do. This box is the 2.5 by 2.5 by 2.5 inches, and it takes an 8 by 8 sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to use 8 by 8 again, but the size of the box is going to be 3.25 inches by 3.25 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And I'm going to use Tip Top Taupe. The other colour, the greeny one, that's Mint Macaroon, 2 of our new colours. So what I'm going to do before I start is I'm going to stamp a pattern on here. I'm using this stamp, which is from Everything Eleanor, and my ink I'm doing tone on tone, so I'm using Tip Top Taupe. That's quite a mouthful to say actually, that Tip Top Taupe. And my scrap paper underneath, so that's fine. No, we do it the other way around. And I'm just going to do this as a random design all over this. Any kind of background stamp would use, a patterned background stamp or any large stamp. The bigger the stamp, the quicker it is to get this done, obviously. But I have to say this is one of my favourite stamps. I have used this for several projects. I also think that Everything Eleanor is one of those stamps that has been around for quite a long time because it has been so popular. There we go. I don't think it needs any more. Let's lift it away from my scrap paper so I can see it properly. Yes, I think that's nice. In fact, I think that's a beautiful design, I really do. Okay. So I'm going to bring in the punch board. And we have a scoring blade in there. And we don't need this for this one, but I'll show you that it is here. So if you do large pieces of paper, cardstock, you do have the extended arm there. So for my box, for the 3¼ by 3¼ by 1 3/4, I've got my 8 by 8 sheet of paper, and it's going to be long by the start line. Okay, so this is start line, and it's the L, and then short. Actually, I keep saying long. It's large. Same meat, different gravy, I suppose. But it's L and S. I call that short, but it's small. But there we go. So it's LS. So you put your paper in. Make sure you're pushed up against the edge here all the time, and line this edge up against the long side. Just double check, check twice, cut once. So that's one and small. Okay, so that's all lined up nicely. And then punch. And then score down towards yourself. And then score out east. And then short down to the score line. Let's move this up a little bit so I can see a bit better. And then turn 90 degrees, line this up at the long. Make sure you're pushed up against the edge here. Punch. I moved that a bit, didn't I? Then score towards yourself. Then score out to the east. And then short down to the diagonal. Turn it. Line this up to large, long, whatever. Punch. Score down towards yourself. Score out to the east. And the short one. Then short, it should take you down to the little cross. It takes you down to where these lines cross over here. Don't know if that you can see that in the camera or not. Turn it around, line up with the long side, punch, score towards yourself, score out to the east, and score down to the cross line. So we've done 4. Okay, now flip the paper over, line up against the large or long, don't need that, and punch, turn it around, line it up against the long side again, punch, turn it around, line up to the long side, punch, turn it around, line it up to long, and punch. And by now you should have 2 on either side. Right, what should happen now is you should put your cardstock back in here and then punch, and that would give you that little cutout. But I don't do that. This is my way of getting round not being able to cope with the little hook bits. But first of all, I am going to round my corners using my Project Life corner rounder. And then I'm going to fold on all the, oops, that's the wrong way around, fold on all the score lines. As always, when you do it, make sure that you're going straight and not off at an angle, because if you go off at an angle, you're looks like I was too gentle or didn't do a score line there. Let's come back to that one. Let's have a look. No, that was all right. I just don't think I'd put as much pressure on that score line as the other ones. Or was that the one? Oh, I can see the line there. Definitely didn't do... Oh, there it is. Just didn't do enough pressure. I think that should be right. I'll find out in a moment when I try putting it all together. And the last bit is to fold the little diagonal lines on the corners there. That's what's going to put our box into shape. Okay, so that's going to be going like that. That's it. Well, that didn't do any harm, did it? Right, next step is to put some red sticky strip on here, and I'm going to put it on that line there, and then on the other side, that line there and that line there. Okay, so what I do, because this sticky strip has got to go into a corner, I just angle the end of the tape. So when I'm come down to put it here, it gets a lot closer than it would do if I left it as a straight edge. Okay, so we do the other side as well, and I'll show you why I alternate it. Okay, so that's that one. Now when I go on to do the tape on the other side, when I angle this, I've got to angle the other side. So that that is going into a corner in the other direction. Okay. And then the last corner, and pop that down there. Okay, just run your fingernail rather down that bit. It does make it easier to get the red backing off. Now turn this over so you've got the wrong side facing you, and I need to just look at my notepad here. So if I keep it, where's it? Right, that's got the red bits. So I need green here and here. Okay, so let's give that a try. This is take 3 of this video. On both of the others I got this wrong, so let's see if I can get it right this time. So that's round that one, that's round those 2, that should be right now. Right, okay. Quickly run the fingernail over that one. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is to get the box shape together. So with my paper piercer I'm going to remove these red bits, the red backing. Oops, come on. There we go. Right. So what you need to do is push these 2 together, line them up so you're getting a really good seam there, and then just press the 2 together. To make sure it's going together nicely, just pinch this bit in the centre. If you work your fingers in there, then that'll be closed really nice. You get a really lovely seam there. Okay, so do that to the other 3 corners. Okay, so you should finish up with the inside of your box looking like that. Now if I've done this correctly, we're going to get these 2 to stick down here and these 2 to stick down here. And I can see from here, yes, I've done it right this time. I don't know what I did with the other 2 occasions. Okay, so I'm going to now take the sticky, the backing of the sticky. Not quite so easy when you're trying to work inside the box, but it comes off. That's one. Let's do the other one on this side. Oh, come on. Okay, so I've done 2 pieces, and what I'm going to do now is just press those down to stick down like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Stick these 2 down. I'm so pleased that I've persevered with this box, because doing it like this, it is easy, and it is so nice to have a very quick, easy way of making a box. You know, whenever, anytime I need something for a gift, I don't have to stop and work out what measurements I didn't need and all the rest of it. It's already done for me. So these two now, I'm going to put these down as well. Okay, so you've got to that side, to that side. So then you just bring these down and that's your box done. That's the green one, that was the square one, and this is the well, it's square on the base, isn't it? It's just not as tall as it is square. No, what do you call this? Not an oblong, but whatever, but it just makes it a bit different. So I'm just going to do the little bit of decoration here. So I'm just imagining this is a thank you gift for somebody. So I'm going to have a piece of Whisper White, and I'm using, what's it say, sending many thanks, which is from the Petite pairs set, and I'll use Tip Top Taupe ink. And the butterfly that I'm using, this is out of Everything Eleanor. I'm going to just stamp that above there. I'm going to do another one so that I can punch that out. That's it. Punch out this one using the, I think it's called the tag punch. I will check, make sure the correct name's up on the screen. Okay, so just line that up where I want it to be, which is about there. And then with the bitty butterfly punch, which is this little one, I'll punch out the other butterfly, and I'm just going to lay that on top of the stamped one on the tag. And I'm also going to do another tag, but I'm using the Glimmer paper, and I can't think for the name of me what this Glimmer paper is called. I think it might be Dazzling Diamonds, but I will put the correct name on the screen for you. And then before I'm going to layer those two, I'm using my 1/8 of an inch handheld punch and just do a hole. Just make sure that I've got it lined up both sides and look at it from the side to make sure it's in far enough without being too far down. Okay, so that looks good. And my butterfly, I'm going to fold it so that I have a little straight bit here, and I've been using my glue pen today, so it's nice and handy. So I'm just going to put some glue on the flat part of the body, pop that on top, hold it up just to make sure I'm getting that straight. To layer this onto this one, what I'm going to do is use a glue dot. It can be a bit difficult to get anything to stick onto the Glimmer paper, but the glue dots work brilliantly. So I just pop that down there and then line this up where I want it to go. All I'm doing is putting it at an angle, making sure that the holes line up. And then I'm going to get some pearls for the body. There we go. Right, I've got myself some of my ribbon here. I think there's about 26 inches. About 25. When I'm doing ribbons for boxes, if they're going to be like the bags, if it's going to be opened and closed, then I like to leave quite long tails on the end of the bows so that the box can be opened and closed easily as many times as necessary. This ribbon is just so beautiful. It is really, really soft. And it does make very nice bows too. Eventually. See that green bow, I did it off camera and no problems at all. But now that I know I have an audience, right, let's try again. Uh-huh. There we go. And just twist that round so it sits in the centre. Right, okay. That's an okay bow. Not brilliant. I got one tail a lot longer than the other, but I can sort that out later. So the last thing I'm going to do is have a couple of dimensionals. When you check the photographs out when I put on my blog, once I post this, you'll see that I will have straightened out the bow nicely. Now I'm going to put that on there, as long as, yep, that's fine. Oh, that's better. I prefer it up there. Let's bring that down a bit. That looks better, doesn't it? Having it there rather than on the side. But then that's because it's a better sized box for that shape. But it's nice. Anyway, that's fine. I'm happy. I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, and I hope you will think about giving this gift box punt board a try now, because, you know, you can see you don't have to rely on the fastening they've given you. You could also use a belly band to go around here, or another one that I made. This is the biggest square size you can make using a 12 by 12 sheet, and what I've done with this one is I used a magnet. Okay, The only thing I didn't like about this was having the DSP, which is really beautiful. I love that. But I don't think it's right not having DSP on these as well. If it was just a straight triangle, it would be quite easy to do, but I've got to work out the triangle and then the bit down here. That takes a bit of time. If I ever get it done, I will photograph it and put a picture on my blog, let you know. All right, but there you go. And I mean, that's quite a sturdy little box there as well. I think that's good. So there you go. Many thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, please contact me because I will be very happy to help you. If you've enjoyed my video, please please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the button on the right hand side of the screen or in the screen below. And if you'd like to buy any products that I've used today, please click on the link that's on the screen and that'll take you to my 24/7 online shop. There's also a link in the description down below as well. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.